Greetings, and today we're going to talk about a fun topic here on Wasteland Armor, the Mannlicher Carcano rifle for SHTF and other practical uses. So lately, as of 2023, the market has been absolutely flooded with these guns, particularly by Royal Tiger Imports, but also some other importers. This particular gun was from another one. It's an Italian police surplus. But how are these things? So some of them are going as low as $99.99, which for this time in history when you're watching this would be a good price. So let's get into it. So this is a model M91 carbine. It's the little short guy with the folding bayonet. These seem to be the most common ones coming onto the market, but there are others. There are the TS Troop Special carbines, and you do sometimes run into a full-length long rifle. So these guns, of course, were invented in 1891 and chamber the 6.5 by 52 millimeter Carcano. Now there is a variant, the M38, chambered in 7.35 by 51, and we'll talk a little bit about that one too. So what is kind of notable about these guns? Well, one thing that is a plus for them, they are very light. Extremely light in the carbine form in particular. I mean, it almost looks like a sporterized rifle, even though it's not. But they are just interesting little guns. They're incredibly rugged. Italy really wanted those guns to hold up. Very simple to produce, is my understanding, which is one of the reasons why Italy went with this design. It just is a nice little rifle. These guns have kind of a bad rep, especially from the boomer generation back in the 60s, 70s. A lot of them came into the country. Of course, there's the famous JFK theory, which we're not really going to talk about today, other than that's what Oswald used, or at least allegedly. But they're just known. They were known for poor accuracy back in the day. The surplus ammunition for them is pretty much garbage, especially at this point in time. Some of it I've even heard is dangerous. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But so part of what I think gives these guns a bad rap is the ammunition. So most commercial ammunition you'll find will be loaded with a 264 bullet. And the problem is most of these have about a 267 caliber bore, roughly, which means that those bullets fit awful loose. So smaller bullet rattling down bigger bore does not generally equal good accuracy. Now, we're going to cut really quick to a couple accuracy tests I did with this one. I did some with PPU 139 grain full metal jacket, which is probably the most common load you'll encounter. And I also found some Norma 156 grain soft point, which is also a pretty good load. So go ahead and we'll cut to that. We're going to go ahead and give it a check at 100 yards. We have some rather large torso to base targets. So we'll see just one magazine of 6 rounds how well it does. there you have it. Let's go take a look at that. So accuracy is not great. As I said, these bullets are undersized. So there's 1, 2, 3 hits on target. Also, we fired 4 rounds out of a Vetterli at this other target, and there's 5 holes on it. So I'm thinking this is also a hit from that. And you can see the bullet was tumbling. The Vetterli appeared to have actually given better accuracy, just incidentally, but that may have been from the Carcano too, but I think that was from the Vetterli probably. And I just wanted to try a little more accuracy testing with it. In the past, I've tested it with PPU's 139 grain full metal jackets, and accuracy was exceptionally poor. So today, what we got was some Norma 156 grain soft points. Now these are unfortunately still 264 caliber bullets. They still fit the barrel loose, to be honest, but I'm hoping with that flat base and longer bearing surface, maybe it'll expand and fill the rifling. Our target is at 100 yards. It's a rather large man-sized silhouette. And we'll just see out of 6 rounds where they go. I'm going to take a 6 o'clock hold because this gun tends to shoot pretty high. Alright, let's go check out how the M91 carbine did. So not what I'd exactly call stellar. This is a considerable improvement over the previous test with PPU. So as you can see, there was one flyer, a miss off to the left. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits on target. Now it is a pretty large target, like I said. There's the dimensions right there. Alright, so as you saw in that shot, the accuracy was not great on this gun. It was okay, especially with the Norma. I would say it's usable. The PPU in a pinch. So one of the things that makes these guns really difficult to shoot well is their sights. So if you see that white line there, I painted that because you don't look through these like a normal barley or like a normal sight where you line the top of the sight post up at the top of the V. No, you pull it all the way down into the V, which does not make for great accuracy. So I put that on there just so it gave me a reference point of where to put the front sight, and it did help a little bit. They also tend to shoot very high. It's a 300 meter zero, and then this little guy flips over, and then you can go way the heck up there. With this accuracy, I don't think it's worth bothering with. I have heard Steinel ammo uses a 267 bullet, and is a lot more accurate. So one other quirk with these is they use the 6-round end blocks, and if you noticed, I put a piece of tape over my magazine. That's because on the last shot it falls free, and on Carcanos, getting those to work are kind of tough. This one, I got one that actually feeds in this gun. I have 2 other ones that do not feed, and it seems like a lot of people have trouble with them. They're not as good of clips as, say, an M95 Mannlicher or an M1 Grand uses. So I think getting reliable clips is going to be a big issue on these guns. But it is doable to get them or to tune them to be. But also you either want a lot of them or you want to do something so you don't lose them. Also, single loading these guns is a little risky because you might break this extractor. The safety on them is a little clunky. You have to push it in and it comes out, and takes quite a bit of force, but it works. It's very safe. The actions, I've heard a good description for them is it feels like you're dragging a piano through sand. Something that can help with that is just put a dab of actual grease on the ejector and it'll help smooth it out, but they're certainly not smooth. So for SHTF use, if I had one of these, would I use it? Well, if it's all I had, maybe. They are extremely durable. They can range anywhere from meh accuracy up to good, depending on your ammunition and bore condition. And they are very, very light recoil, which maybe for a lady would be a good one. Also, you do have your pokey bayonet. So, I mean, that's not probably that useful, but hey, it's there if you need it. You can also use it as a monopod, which is kind of cool. As to the other models, the 735 versions, the ammunition is really, really hard to get. And if PPU stops importing brass and ammunition into the country, well, then we're really going to have trouble because the only way to get ammo would be to fireform Norma casings from 6.5, which can be done, but that'll be a lot of work. So it also uses a 29 caliber bullet, which is really fun on the 735s. And I'll show you a little clip of shooting one just for the heck of it. Used to have one, but I wouldn't really recommend those for any practical use other than just having fun. Now there is another type of Carcano out there. These are very rare, but it's one I would feel more comfortable using, and I'm going to demonstrate that now. This is the Japanese Type I, made by Beretta. Now this is what a Carcano should have been. It's patterned on the Type 38, but it uses a Carcano action. 5-round Mauser box magazine, stripper clip fed. It's in 6.5 Japanese, which is a bit of a bummer because it's harder to get, but you can get it. This gun's also quite a bit more accurate, and the sights act like a normal iron sight that everybody in the world uses except for Italy. So we'll be using Norma 156 grain bullets. Hopefully these things just have pretty good accuracy. Norma doesn't make 6.5 Japanese casings quite to spec, so you may see some feeding issues, but we're going to go ahead and try a 5-round group at 100 yards. Full-size torso, pretty big target. I'm going to take a 6 o'clock hole just because this tends to shoot a little bit on the high side, but we'll see where they go. Holds 5 rounds in an internal box magazine, which is nice. Unfortunately, because of the Norma brass being out of spec, stripper clips do not work with it, at least on this weapon. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. And there you have it, 5 rounds of 6.5 Japanese out of the Type I. Let's go check out the accuracy results. Some very nice results, I'd say, from the Type I rifle. These black spots here are previous hits from the M91 Carcano. So, as you can see, considerably more accurate. There's my hand for comparison. Not necessarily accurate by modern scoped rifle standards, but that's pretty good for a military rifle. Also, its sights are very coarse. Again, full-size target. There's your dimensions. So, and I was aiming right in the center of that black oval. So, overall, I'm very pleased. If you have a Type I, this might be a viable option if you feel like going through some pain and getting the ammunition for it. But it's quite a bit smoother for some reason than the Italian versions, and you don't have to deal with that Mannlicher clip system. This is also probably about the length of one of the long rifle Carcanos, and that's kind of a preference thing. I could see a Carcano carbine making a pretty good scout rifle concept. They do make scout mounts for them. And with the right ammo and a scout scope, could be a decent mid-range gun if you feel like going through the trouble to get the ammo. But so would I recommend it for SHTF? Probably not, unless it's what you got, or just maybe for niche roles. Would it make a good little hunting carbine with the right ammo? Absolutely. Just be aware that the sights are weird, unless you want to go with the scout scope. The Type I would definitely be a much more viable option, except for the ammunition, but they also only made about 60,000 of these. They made several million regular Carcanos, so that is one issue. And we're going to show you, not going to do a run and gun with this gun, just because ammunition's kind of hard to come by lately. And with only having one clip that works, it's kind of problematic. I will show you a clip of a run and gun I did with the Type I, so best case scenario. So go ahead and enjoy watching that. Alright, and as you saw in the run and gun with the Type I, it worked pretty good. Accurate, reasonably quick. I'd say adequate. Probably a little bit inferior to a Mauser, but not by much. So, in summary, I would say for SHTF purposes, if you can get one of these on the cheap, make a scout rifle, might make a decent little gun. I don't think it's on par with even the Mosin. But for certain applications, a nice lightweight little gun, it could do the trick. Well, this is Wasteland Armor. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Please comment. I love comments. I love comment debates. So, thanks for watching.